Hi everyone, and welcome to Fluent English Journey. Make sure you subscribe so you can get daily English lessons and helpful tips that will guide you towards speaking more confidently. Today, we are going to learn something fun, useful, and enjoyable: how to talk about your birthday in English. Birthdays are special moments in everyone's life, and being able to describe them clearly can help you in friendly conversations, social gatherings, and even when writing simple messages or emails. When you want to talk about your birthday, one of the first things you should mention is the date. Many learners only say something short like, "My birthday is on May 5th." This is correct, but there are more natural and interesting ways to express the same idea. For example, you can say, "I was born on the 5th of May, which sounds more complete and expressive. Another option is, "My birthday falls on May 5th. Phrases like, "I was born on," and "My birthday falls on," help your English sound richer and more fluent because they show variety in your sentences. After talking about the date, most people mention their age. Instead of simply saying, "I am 25, you can make your English sound more natural by using friendly expressions such as, "I just turned 25, or "I'm celebrating my 25th birthday this year." These expressions feel more lively and are often used in everyday conversations by native speakers. Words like "just turned" and "celebrating" help you sound more confident and expressive. Next, people often explain how they celebrate their birthdays. There are many simple ways to describe this in English. You can start with something general like, "Every year, I host a small gathering with my closest friends and family." The word host means to organize and invite people to a party or celebration. If you like doing something different, you might say, "I like to spend my birthday traveling and trying something new." Using verbs such as host, celebrate, enjoy, organize, and spend helps make your sentences active and interesting. You can also share specific activities like going to a restaurant, having a themed party, visiting a favorite place, or enjoying a quiet day at home. Describing details makes your English more colorful and personal. For example, "We usually have a fun dinner with music and laughter," or "I prefer a peaceful birthday where I reflect on the past year and think about my goals." Another enjoyable part of talking about birthdays is sharing your traditions and cultural customs. Different countries celebrate birthdays in different ways, and this can make your English conversation more engaging. You might say something like, "In my country, people cut a cake and sing a birthday song, but in other places, they may have different customs or unique games." This kind of comparison helps show your understanding of both English and cultural diversity. You can describe simple traditions like giving gifts, lighting candles, using balloons, decorating the house, or preparing special foods. Even small details can make your speech more expressive. To bring everything together, you can combine all these ideas in a longer description. For example, "I was born on the 5th of May, and I just turned 25 this year. Every year, I host a small party with my close friends. We enjoy a lively dinner filled with music, laughter, and, of course, a big birthday cake. Sometimes I spend the morning quietly thinking about my growth during the past year. In my country, we normally cut a cake and give gifts, but I know that in other cultures, people celebrate in many different ways." This kind of detailed explanation shows that you can use dates, verbs, adjectives, and traditions naturally in your English. Birthdays are also connected to emotions and personal feelings. Many English speakers talk about how birthdays make them feel. You could say, "I feel grateful for another year of life," or "My birthday makes me think about my achievements and what I want to improve." Words like grateful, excited, thankful, happy, and reflective help your sentences sound deeper and more meaningful. Talking about emotions also helps build your ability to express yourself clearly in English. Gifts are another fun topic that you can include. Instead of simply saying, "I got a gift," you can describe it using adjectives like thoughtful, memorable, surprising, or special. For example, My friend gave me a thoughtful gift that I will always remember. These kinds of sentences help expand your vocabulary and make your descriptions more interesting. In the end, talking about birthdays is not only enjoyable, it also helps you practice natural English. You learn how to use different sentence structures, verbs, adjectives, and expressions in a simple and meaningful way. The more details you include, the more your English will sound natural, friendly, and easy to understand. With practice, you will feel confident talking about birthdays or any other special event in your life. Talking about gifts is another great way to make your birthday conversations in English more interesting. You can describe the gifts you receive in a warm and expressive way. For example, you might say, "My friends gave me a thoughtful gift that I will treasure forever," or "I received a surprising present that I didn't expect at all." These sentences show emotions and help your listener understand why the gift was special. You can also talk about how you choose presents for others. For example, you could say, "I like to pick gifts carefully," or "I enjoy giving personalized presents that match the person's interests." When you talk about gifts in this way, you get to practice using descriptive words and emotional expressions, which makes your English sound natural, engaging, and friendly. Another important part of birthday conversations is inviting people to your celebration. Invitations can be casual or formal depending on the event and who you are inviting. For everyday, friendly situations, you can use simple and relaxed sentences such as, "I'm having a small birthday party this Saturday, and I'd love for you to come," or "Please join me for a casual get-together to celebrate my birthday." These expressions are welcoming and create a friendly atmosphere. For more formal events, such as a planned dinner or a professional gathering, your language should sound more polite. You can say, "I am hosting a birthday dinner, and it would be an honor to have your presence," or "I cordially invite you to join my birthday celebration." These sentences show respect and help you sound confident and well-spoken. Learning to change your tone depending on the situation helps you become a more advanced English speaker because you know how to adjust your language to match the moment. As you talk about traditions, emotions, gifts, and invitations, you become better at describing your birthday celebrations in a complete and natural way. You can explain what makes your birthday special, compare your customs to those of other countries, and share personal stories that help you connect with others. Using detailed descriptions and polite expressions shows that you can communicate clearly and expressively in English. This helps you feel more comfortable in conversations and improves your overall speaking skills. Talking about birthdays is also fun because it involves storytelling, describing experiences, and expressing emotions. You get to practice using different verbs, adjectives, adverbs, and sentence styles, all while talking about something meaningful to you. The next time someone asks about your birthday, you will be able to speak confidently about the date, your age, how you celebrate, the gifts you give and receive, and even how you invite others. Adding details makes your speech more interesting and helps you connect more easily with people. Birthdays are not only about cake and presents, they are also wonderful opportunities to practice English. Another important skill is knowing how to adjust your language depending on the situation. When talking with friends, you can speak casually. But when inviting someone to a formal dinner or writing a polite message, you should use more respectful and elegant language. This ability to switch between casual and formal English is called understanding different language registers, and it is very useful for advanced English learners. When inviting someone to your birthday celebration, it is also helpful to give clear details so the person knows exactly what to expect. You might say, "The party will start at 6 o'clock in the evening at my apartment. We will have dinner, music, and a few fun games." Providing information about the time, place, and activities makes your invitation more complete and easier to understand. It also shows that you can communicate clearly and politely. Responding to birthday wishes is another chance to practice English. When someone says, "Happy birthday," you can respond simply with, "Thank you." But if you want to sound more advanced, you can say, "Thank you so much for your kind wishes. It means a lot to me," or "I truly appreciate your thoughtful message on my birthday." You can even say, "Your words have made my day even more special and memorable." These responses show gratitude and make your conversation more meaningful. Similarly, when you wish someone else a happy birthday, you can use a variety of phrases to sound warm and sincere. You could say, "I hope you have a fantastic birthday filled with joy and laughter," or "wishing you an amazing year ahead as you celebrate your special day." These kinds of sentences make your English sound more expressive and friendly. These sentences are polite, thoughtful, and enjoyable to use. By learning different ways to wish someone a happy birthday, you practice expressing positive feelings and forming meaningful English sentences. Another helpful skill is learning how to share stories about your past birthdays. Talking about past experiences allows you to use past tenses, descriptive language, and narrative structures, all of which are very important for advanced English learners. You can make your stories more interesting by adding vivid adjectives and details. For example, you might say, "Last year, I celebrated my birthday in Paris, and it was an unforgettable experience." Then, you can add more details like, "We had a small dinner at a beautiful restaurant, walked around the city at night, and enjoyed music and laughter with close friends." These kinds of descriptions make your story lively, personal, and easy for listeners to imagine. You can also share your feelings in these stories by saying things like, "I felt so happy and thankful to spend time with my friends and family," or "It was exciting to try something new for my birthday this year." Talking about emotions helps you show confidence in English and makes your storytelling deeper and more expressive. When you combine invitations, birthday wishes, personal stories, and emotional expressions, you can talk about birthdays in a natural and complete way. You get to practice different tenses, vocabulary, and sentence styles while sharing meaningful experiences. This makes your English sound fluent, personal, and confident. Birthdays are not only special events, they are also wonderful opportunities to practice speaking English naturally, describe events clearly, and connect with people through stories, emotions, and polite conversations. One way to make your birthday stories more exciting is to include sensory details, what you saw, heard, tasted, or felt. For example, "Last year, I celebrated my birthday in Paris, and it was unforgettable because I saw the Eiffel Tower glowing beautifully at night." Details like these help your listener imagine the scene clearly. You can also talk about how you felt during the celebration, such as, "My friend surprised me with a beautifully decorated room, and I felt overwhelmed with happiness and gratitude." Sharing emotions like this makes your storytelling more natural and expressive. Advanced English speakers often use complex sentences to connect ideas smoothly. Words like although, while, because, and since help you explain relationships between events. For example, "Although the weather was rainy, we still enjoyed an outdoor picnic and had a wonderful time." These connectors show that you can explain ideas clearly and describe situations in a more sophisticated way. You can also describe interactions with friends and family, like the games you played, the music you listened to, or the surprises you received. These small details make your stories more personal and engaging. Another interesting thing you can include in birthday conversations is cultural comparisons. You can talk about how different countries celebrate birthdays in different ways. For example, in some countries, birthdays are celebrated with large parties and colorful decorations, while in others, people prefer simple family gatherings with a small cake. Talking about traditions gives you a chance to use comparative language and to show your awareness of different cultures. You can also introduce special birthday terms like milestone birthdays or birthday blessings. For instance, turning 18 is a milestone birthday in many places because it marks the beginning of adulthood. You can also use modal verbs to describe birthday customs, which makes your language more flexible. For example, people may exchange gifts or families might organize special ceremonies. Words like may, might, can, and should help you express possibilities, traditions, and suggestions naturally. These words are especially useful when comparing celebrations in different cultures. When describing birthday parties, using expressive adjectives and adverbs makes your English more colorful. Instead of saying, "We had a good party," you can say, "We had a lively and energetic party filled with laughter, music, and delicious food." Instead of saying, "The cake was nice," you can say, "The cake was beautiful, colorful, and rich in chocolate." Flavor. These vivid descriptions bring your story to life and help your listener feel more connected to the moment. You can talk about decorations, gifts, songs, games, and even the weather or location to make your story more complete. Adding details about your feelings, your interactions, cultural traditions, and sensory experiences helps you tell birthday stories naturally and confidently. When you combine emotions, cultural knowledge, descriptive language, and clear storytelling, your English becomes stronger, and you can communicate in a way that keeps others interested. Using descriptive adjectives and expressive language is a great way to practice advanced English while still keeping your sentences clear and easy to understand. Birthdays are a perfect topic for this because they are familiar, personal, and full of chances to tell stories. With regular practice, your birthday stories will become easier to follow, more enjoyable, and much more expressive. This helps you improve your fluency, vocabulary, and overall confidence in English. When talking about birthdays in English, descriptive language can make your storytelling more vivid and interesting. For example, instead of saying, "The cake was good," you can describe it more clearly by saying, "The birthday cake was beautifully decorated, rich in flavor, and absolutely delicious." Descriptions like these help the listener imagine what the celebration looked and felt like. You can also talk about people's emotions during the celebration. For example, you could say, "I felt truly appreciated, and everyone seemed genuinely happy," or "The atmosphere was joyful and uplifting." Sharing feelings adds depth to your conversation and helps make your English sound more personal, natural, and relatable. Talking about emotions is an excellent way to practice expressing yourself comfortably in English. Another useful skill is using hypothetical and conditional sentences to talk about past or future birthdays. This helps you imagine possibilities and express plans more clearly. For example, you can say, "Next year, I would like to travel to a tropical island for my birthday if I have the time and resources." Or, "If my friends and family are available, I might host a themed birthday party next year." Conditional sentences allow you to talk about your hopes, wishes, and future ideas in a sophisticated and natural way. You can also reflect on past birthdays with similar structures. For example, if it had not rained last year, we would have had a picnic outdoors, but we still managed to enjoy the day indoors. This type of language helps advanced learners speak confidently about imagined or alternative situations. Birthday conversations also give you the chance to express personal preferences and opinions. You can describe what kind of celebrations you enjoy the most. For example, you might say, "I personally enjoy small and intimate gatherings rather than large parties because I feel more connected to everyone." Or, "I prefer spending my birthday outdoors in nature because it feels relaxing and refreshing." You can also compare your preferences to those of others. For example, while some people enjoy elaborate parties with many guests, I prefer quiet celebrations with close friends and family. Comparative phrases like while, rather than, and because help you express your choices clearly and naturally. Adding details about activities, games, and decorations can make your birthday descriptions even livelier. You can describe how the table was arranged, what music was playing, or what games people enjoyed. Adjectives and adverbs like lively, colorful, cheerful, and exciting help make your descriptions more vivid and engaging. You can even describe how gifts were exchanged, such as, "My friends surprised me with thoughtful presents, and I felt very happy and grateful." These small details make your storytelling more personal and enjoyable for the listener. Talking about birthdays also gives you a chance to talk about gifts. This helps you practice descriptive language, express emotions, and explain what you value. You might say, "I enjoy receiving books and experiences as gifts because they allow me to learn new things and create memories." Or, "I prefer giving gifts that reflect the recipient's personality and hobbies because it shows that I truly care." Well-chosen gifts often have emotional meaning, and describing them helps you practice natural, expressive English. Combining your emotions, preferences, conditional sentences, and descriptive details allows you to speak about birthdays confidently and naturally. Birthdays are not just celebrations, they are opportunities to practice advanced English while sharing meaningful experiences. By describing how you celebrate, what you enjoy, what you imagine for the future, and how you feel during these moments, your English becomes more fluent, expressive, and enjoyable. Whether you are talking about the past, the present, or your hopes for the future, birthdays give you endless chances to improve your storytelling skills. Using descriptive and expressive language when talking about birthdays helps you clearly communicate both your intentions and your emotions. When you use simple but meaningful adjectives like memorable, unique, thoughtful, customized, and delightful, your sentences become richer and more interesting. These words help the listener understand why a gift, moment, or experience feels special to you. Birthdays are also a time for fun, humor, and lighthearted expressions. English speakers often use playful language to make birthday conversations more enjoyable and warm. For example, instead of simply saying, "I'm older," people often say things like, "I am officially 1 year older and wiser," or "Another year has passed, and I'm still young at heart." Many people also enjoy using funny jokes such as, "I am not getting older," "I am leveling up," or "I'm at the perfect age where I know better, but still do it anyway." Using humor adds personality and charm to your speech. It also shows that you understand a bit of cultural behavior because English-speaking cultures often use jokes, puns, and lighthearted comments during birthdays. If you want to sound even more natural and advanced in English, you can use idioms and casual expressions. Phrases like, "Time flies when you're having fun," or "It feels like I just celebrated my last birthday yesterday," help you describe the feeling of time passing quickly. These expressions make your English sound fluent and culturally aware. Using idioms correctly shows that you understand both the meaning of the words and the cultural context behind them. Another meaningful way to talk about birthdays is to describe traditions, rituals, and their symbolic meanings. You can explain why certain actions are important. For example, you can say, "Blowing out the candle symbolizes making a wish, and it's a tradition that brings everyone together." Or, "Giving a birthday card is a thoughtful way of showing love and appreciation." These explanations make your English sound deeper and more expressive. You can also compare different birthday customs from around the world. For example, in Mexico, children often celebrate with a colorful piñata, which everyone has fun breaking open. In some European countries, giving flowers as a birthday gift is a beautiful and elegant tradition. Talking about customs helps expand your vocabulary and shows your understanding of cultural differences, which is an important part of advanced English communication. Birthdays also give you the chance to talk about emotions, reflections, and personal growth. Advanced speakers often go beyond simply saying how old they are. Instead, they talk about what the birthday means to them. You might say, "As I celebrate another birthday, I reflect on the challenges I've overcome and the goals I have achieved." Or you can express a thoughtful idea such as, birthdays remind me of the importance of valuing every moment with the people I love. You can also express hope and excitement for the future by saying something like, I look forward to the new experiences and opportunities that the coming year will bring. Using reflective and future-focused language shows maturity and gives your conversations depth. It demonstrates that you are able to express not only facts, but also your thoughts, feelings, and dreams. When you combine descriptive vocabulary, humor, idioms, cultural explanations, and emotional reflections, your English becomes natural, expressive, and engaging. Talking about birthdays then becomes more than just describing a party. It becomes a way to practice advanced English in a simple, meaningful, and enjoyable way. Describing birthday parties is a wonderful way to practice storytelling in English. When you talk about a celebration, you can explain the setting, decorations, and atmosphere, which helps your listener imagine the scene clearly. For example, instead of only saying that the room looked nice, you can describe it in more detail. The room was decorated with colorful balloons and sparkling lights. Soft music played in the background, and everyone was chatting happily. These kinds of descriptions make your storytelling more vivid and enjoyable. You can also talk about the activities, games, and meals during the celebration. For instance, you might say, we played fun party games, shared delicious cake, and laughed together all evening. Using adjectives and adverbs such as colorful, sparkling, soft, delicious, and happily adds energy and emotion to your story. These simple details make your English sound natural and expressive, while also allowing you to practice descriptive language. Combining descriptions with emotions and reflections makes your storytelling even stronger. You can express your feelings by saying something like, seeing my friends and family enjoy the party made me feel deeply grateful and happy, or spending time with the people I love reminded me how important it is to treasure these moments. When you include emotions, cultural customs, personal reflections, and sensory details, your story becomes meaningful and complete. This helps you speak more fluently and confidently while practicing advanced vocabulary and sentence structures. Birthdays are not just celebrations. They offer a rich opportunity to practice English in a personal, expressive, and enjoyable way. One effective technique is to focus on the atmosphere and sensory details of the celebration. You can describe how the room looked, what sounds filled the space, and even the smells that made the day special. For example, the room was decorated with colorful balloons, streamers, and fairy lights, creating a festive and cheerful atmosphere. Or, soft music played while everyone laughed, chatted, and enjoyed the food. Sensory details add depth to your storytelling. You can say things like, the aroma of freshly baked cake filled the room, or the warm glow of the candles created a cozy feeling. Using this type of language makes your story vivid and helps your listener almost feel like they were there. Another important topic is birthday planning and organization. You can explain how you prepare for a party, manage invitations, and choose activities. For example, you might say, I usually start planning my birthday a few weeks ahead. I make a list of guests, choose the menu, and organize entertainment. Or I try to plan activities that everyone will enjoy, such as games, music, and group activities. Using verbs like plan, organize, coordinate, prepare, and arrange shows that you can describe tasks and responsibilities clearly. You can also practice conditional and future sentences. For instance, if my friends are free, I will organize a surprise party next month or next year. I hope to plan a bigger celebration with more guests and interactive activities. These kinds of sentences help you talk about possibilities and future plans in a natural and advanced way. Talking about birthday gifts is another excellent topic for practice. You can describe the gifts you receive, explain why they are meaningful, and compliment the person who gave them. For example, My friend gave me a beautifully handcrafted journal, which I will use to record memories and ideas. Or I received a thoughtful gift that matched my interests perfectly, and it made me feel appreciated. You can also describe how you choose gifts for others. I love choosing presents carefully and selecting something that fits the person's personality and hobbies. Using expressive adjectives such as beautifully crafted, thoughtful, unique, memorable, and personalized adds richness to your sentences. Discussing gifts also helps you practice expressing gratitude and emotions in English, making your speech sound sincere and natural. By combining descriptions of the decorations, atmosphere, planning, and gifts, you can create a complete picture of a birthday celebration. You might begin by describing the colorful room and happy music, then explain how you prepared the activities, and finally talk about the meaningful gifts you received. This method brings depth and variety to your storytelling and allows you to practice multiple English skills at once: descriptive vocabulary, sensory details, conditional sentences, expressive adjectives, and emotional language. Birthdays are not just events to celebrate. They are an excellent opportunity to practice advanced English. You can talk about the setting, decorations, activities, preparations, gifts, and emotions, all while using rich vocabulary and clear sentence structures. Sharing these details in a personal and engaging way helps your English sound fluent, confident, and natural. With practice, you will be able to describe any birthday memory vividly, connect with your listener, and make your storytelling truly meaningful. When describing gifts specifically, advanced English learners can add even more detail and emotion. You can say things like, "The gift perfectly reflected my interests," or "I was touched by the kindness and effort that went into choosing it." You can add adjectives such as unique, exceptional, surprising, and many others to express how special the gift felt. Using descriptive words like incredibly or remarkably helps your English sound natural, fluent, and heartfelt. When you express gratitude in a detailed and thoughtful way, you can communicate your emotions clearly and confidently. Another interesting topic to talk about is milestone birthdays and special celebrations. Milestone birthdays, such as turning 18, 21, 30, 40, or 50, are often celebrated with extra significance. You can explain their importance using sentences like, "Turning 30 is considered a major milestone because it marks the transition into full adulthood," or "A 50th birthday is often celebrated with family, friends, and reflections on life achievements." You can also compare milestone birthdays to regular ones. For example, you might say, "While I usually celebrate my birthdays quietly, my 30th birthday was celebrated with a large party and several surprises." Using descriptive and expressive language helps you talk about these special occasions in a sophisticated and engaging way. Discussing birthday wishes and messages is another great way to practice advanced English. You can talk about writing cards, sending greetings online, or giving messages in person. For example, you could say, "I enjoy writing heartfelt birthday messages that show my appreciation and affection." Or, sending a thoughtful digital greeting can brighten someone's day and show you care. You can even use conditional sentences to express possibilities or hypothetical situations. For example, "If I had more time, I would write a longer and more meaningful birthday letter to my closest friends." This kind of language helps you discuss intentions, plans, and possibilities in a clear and advanced way. When discussing gifts, milestone celebrations, or birthday messages, you can make your sentences richer by using descriptive adjectives and emotional vocabulary. Words like heartfelt, thoughtful, meaningful, special, memorable, and personalized bring depth to your storytelling. You can describe how certain gifts made you feel, how celebrations were organized, or how you expressed your wishes to others. This approach not only expands your vocabulary, but also makes your English sound polished, expressive, and engaging. When you combine all these elements, gifts, milestone celebrations, birthday wishes, emotions, and conditional language, you can speak about birthdays in a complete, natural, and meaningful way. You may describe a special gift, explain why it meant so much to you, reflect on a milestone birthday, and share a thoughtful message all in one conversation. Practicing these topics helps you improve your fluency, strengthen your vocabulary, and express emotions and ideas more effectively. Birthdays provide a wonderful opportunity to share personal experiences, express gratitude, and show cultural awareness while using English confidently and creatively. Talking about birthdays also helps you practice advanced language skills such as using conditionals, expressive adjectives and adverbs, and reflective expressions. You can practice these skills by talking about interactions with friends or describing meaningful experiences. For example, you might say, "If my best friends are available, I would love to celebrate my birthday with them," or "I was incredibly touched by the thoughtful message my friend sent me." Using varied sentence structures helps you sound more fluent and natural. Another advanced topic is birthday reflections and life lessons. Birthdays often encourage people to think about their personal growth, achievements, and hopes for the future. You can say, "Each birthday gives me the opportunity to reflect on my progress and set new goals," or "Celebrating birthdays allows me to appreciate my journey and the people who have supported me." You can also share deeper or more philosophical ideas such as, "I have learned to value experiences more than material gifts," or "Birthdays remind me of the importance of gratitude, resilience, and staying connected with loved ones." Reflective language enriches your vocabulary and shows that you can express complex ideas. Birthdays are also a perfect time to talk about memorable experiences or special moments that made the day unique. You can describe extraordinary events, surprises, or personal highlights using expressive language. For example, one of my most memorable birthdays was when my friends organized a surprise trip to the mountains. I was overwhelmed with excitement and gratitude. Using adjectives like memorable, overwhelming, exciting, and thoughtful conveys emotion and keeps your storytelling engaging. Adding sensory details makes your descriptions even more vivid. You can describe what you saw, heard, or felt during the celebration. For example, "The cold mountain air was refreshing. The warmth of the campfire was comforting. The sound of laughter echoed through the forest." Including sensory details helps listeners imagine the scene clearly, making your English storytelling more immersive and natural. Advanced learners can also connect these experiences with personal reflections to make the story deeper and more meaningful. For example, a birthday can teach you important lessons, such as understanding the value of true friendship or enjoying the happiness that comes with unexpected surprises. Spending the day with family and loved ones can also remind you to appreciate the simple moments in life. Using conjunctions like and, because, while, although, and which helps you connect ideas smoothly when describing these experiences. By combining conditional sentences, descriptive language, sensory details, and reflective thoughts, you can talk about birthdays in a complete and sophisticated way. In one conversation, you can describe a meaningful gift, share a memorable surprise, reflect on personal growth, and express gratitude. Practicing these elements improves fluency, strengthens vocabulary, and helps learners express emotions naturally. Birthdays are more than just a celebration. They are a wonderful opportunity to practice advanced English, tell interesting stories, and connect with listeners on a personal level. Linking your birthday experiences with personal lessons shows depth and confidence in your communication. Another interesting area you can explore is group celebrations and social interactions during birthdays. You can describe how people behave at parties or gatherings using sentences like, "At my last birthday, everyone contributed to the celebration by bringing their favorite dishes and sharing stories," or "The atmosphere was lively because people were chatting." laughing, and enjoying themselves. These types of sentences help you clearly express the social energy of a celebration. You can also talk about cooperation and teamwork when planning events. For example, my friends helped me organize the party by decorating the venue, preparing food, and coordinating games, which made the celebration smooth and enjoyable. Using action verbs like contribute, participate, organize, and coordinate helps you explain how people work together and improves your ability to discuss social dynamics. Talking about teamwork not only expands your vocabulary, but also shows that you can describe real-life situations in a thoughtful and advanced way. Another great way to expand your English skills is by discussing birthday traditions in different cultures. This allows you to use descriptive words, comparisons, and cultural vocabulary. For example, you might say, in Japan, children celebrate Shichigo-san, a special ceremony for 7-, 5-, and 3-year-olds, which is very meaningful for families. Or, in Germany, children traditionally receive a wreath of candles, with each candle representing a year of their life. After describing these traditions, you can compare them to your own experiences by saying something like, "While my birthday celebrations are usually simple, I find international traditions fascinating and inspiring." Making comparisons helps you express opinions and observations more clearly and effectively. You can also use modal verbs like may, might, and can to discuss possibilities and choices. For example, people may celebrate birthdays with family dinners, special meals, or surprise parties, or children might participate in traditional ceremonies, depending on their culture. Modal verbs make your English sound flexible, natural, and more advanced because they allow you to describe different possibilities and situations. When describing group celebrations, you can use adjectives and adverbs to make your language more expressive. For example, the room was filled with joyful laughter, colorful decorations, and delicious smells, or everyone participated actively, sharing stories, playing games, and enjoying the music together. These details help listeners imagine the scene and keep your storytelling lively and engaging. By describing interactions, teamwork, cultural traditions, and different options for celebrating, you can talk about birthdays in a full, dynamic, and interesting way. You can explain how people work together, compare different celebrations, and describe how traditions vary depending on culture or personal preference. Practicing these ideas helps learners improve fluency, expand vocabulary, and communicate with more confidence and sophistication. Birthdays are not only moments of celebration, they are also chances to strengthen English skills, connect ideas smoothly, and share meaningful experiences. People celebrate in many different ways depending on their personality and preferences. Some enjoy small gatherings at home, while others love big parties or even traveling to new places. Talking about these differences helps you describe events clearly and accurately while using a variety of adjectives, verbs, and sentence structures. For example, you can say, some friends prefer quiet dinners at home, while others enjoy exploring new destinations on their birthdays. Birthdays also allow learners to practice expressing gratitude. Advanced English speakers often use meaningful sentences such as, "I am deeply grateful for the birthday wishes I received from my friends and family," or "receiving heartfelt messages and thoughtful gifts made me feel appreciated and loved." You can also reflect on relationships using phrases like, "Birthdays remind me to cherish the people around me, and they encourage me to show appreciation for the kindness and support I receive." Expressing gratitude through complete, thoughtful sentences makes your English sound polished and natural. You can also describe how you show gratitude to others. For example, you might say, "To thank my friends for making my birthday special, I wrote them personal messages to express how much their support means to me." This helps you practice emotional vocabulary and communication skills. I like to thank my friends personally for attending my celebration and for giving such thoughtful gifts. Sometimes I also send a follow-up message to express my appreciation, which makes the celebration feel even more special. Talking about gratitude in this way helps learners practice polite and meaningful communication, an important skill for social interactions. Another useful topic is birthday planning and preparation. Planning a birthday requires organization, attention to detail, and clear descriptive language. You can explain the process with sentences like, I usually plan my birthday well in advance by creating a detailed schedule, selecting a menu, and arranging entertainment for my guests. You can also describe the tasks involved, such as coordinating decorations, sending invitations, and preparing activities to make the event enjoyable. Using action verbs like coordinate, arrange, prepare, and schedule helps learners explain processes clearly and confidently. You can also include conditional sentences to describe different possibilities. For example, if the weather permits, I will host an outdoor barbecue, but if it rains, we will move the celebration indoors. Conditional language allows you to talk about plans, alternatives, and changes flexibly, making your English more nuanced and sophisticated. By combining descriptions of celebrations, expressions of gratitude, planning steps, and conditional language, learners can talk about birthdays in a complete and detailed way. You can describe the type of celebration you enjoy, how you prepare for it, how you thank others, and how your plans might change depending on the situation. Practicing these areas helps learners expand vocabulary, develop fluency, and communicate effectively in social contexts. Birthdays are more than a special day. They're an opportunity to practice English, share meaningful experiences, and connect with others in a polished and natural way. Talking about birthday gifts is another excellent way to improve English skills. You can describe both the gifts you receive and the ones you give using expressive language. For example, I received a personalized gift that reflected my hobbies and interests, which made it very special, or I enjoy choosing thoughtful presents that show I understand the recipient's personality and preferences. Using adjectives and adverbs helps make your language richer and more vivid. You might say, the gift was exceptionally beautiful and meticulously crafted, or I was pleasantly surprised by the creativity and thoughtfulness of the present. Practicing descriptive language in this context helps learners sound natural, clear, and engaging. Milestone birthdays are another meaningful topic. These special ages often carry deeper significance. You can explain this using sentences like, turning 21 is considered an important milestone because it symbolizes adulthood and new responsibilities, or, celebrating a 50th birthday often involves reflecting on life achievements and spending time with close family and friends. Comparing milestone birthdays with regular ones allows you to use comparative and sophisticated language. For example, while I usually celebrate quietly, my 30th birthday was marked by a large party with friends and family. Using advanced language helps learners talk about life events in detail and express their feelings clearly. Sharing birthday stories is also a great way to build narrative and storytelling skills. You can describe past experiences to make your conversation lively. For instance, one year I celebrated my birthday by taking a spontaneous trip with friends, and we explored beautiful places we had never visited before. Or another memorable birthday involved a surprise gathering organized by my family, and I felt overwhelmed with happiness and gratitude. Adding adjectives like memorable, exciting, thoughtful, and unexpected helps listeners understand your emotions and imagine the events. You can also use sensory details to create vivid descriptions. For example, the room was filled with colorful decorations, the aroma of freshly baked cake, and the sound of laughter echoing through the house. Sensory language makes your storytelling immersive, allowing listeners to feel like they were part of the celebration. Linking these experiences with reflections adds depth. You can say, "That birthday taught me the importance of friendship and the joy of unexpected surprises." Advanced learners can also use conditional sentences and talk about future possibilities. For example, if my friends are free next year, I would like to host a beach party, or if it rains during my outdoor celebration, we will move the gathering indoors. These structures help learners talk about plans, options, and hypothetical situations naturally and fluently. By combining gift descriptions, milestone celebrations, storytelling, sensory details, reflections, and conditional sentences, learners can discuss birthdays in a complete and sophisticated way. This approach strengthens vocabulary, improves fluency, and makes conversations about birthdays rich, engaging, and memorable. Birthdays are not just a time for celebration, they are an opportunity to practice advanced English while sharing meaningful experiences with others. Celebrating birthdays often creates memories that stay with us forever. For example, you can describe a surprise party planned by your family. "My family organized a surprise birthday party for me, which left me speechless and extremely happy." Adding reflections makes the story deeper, such as saying, "That celebration reminded me how loved and appreciated I am." These experiences remind me that the best part of birthdays is spending time with loved ones and creating memories that last a lifetime. Using both narrative and reflective language allows learners to tell engaging stories while connecting emotionally with the listener. In today's world, online or virtual birthday celebrations are becoming increasingly common and relevant. You can describe these experiences using sentences like, "Last year, I hosted a virtual birthday party on Zoom, and it was wonderful because friends from different countries could join," or "Virtual celebrations allow people to connect even when they cannot be physically present, making birthdays more inclusive and fun." Talking about online celebrations helps learners practice modern, real-life English vocabulary. You can introduce technology-related terms such as video conferencing, online games, digital invitations, e-cards, and recorded birthday messages. For example, we used video conferencing to connect with friends, played online games together, and sent digital invitations to everyone. Discussing these topics also encourages learners to describe familiar situations in contemporary contexts, making English practical and relevant. Another important area is expressing hopes, plans, and wishes for future birthdays. Using future tense, conditional sentences, and expressive adjectives allows learners to speak naturally and fluently. For instance, "Next year, I hope to travel to a new country and celebrate my birthday in a unique way," or "I would like to organize a themed party for my friends and family, filled with fun activities and delicious food." You can also use hypothetical language to imagine different possibilities, such as, "If I have the opportunity, I might host a joint birthday celebration with friends who share the same birthday month." These structures allow learners to talk about plans, dreams, and possibilities in a detailed and sophisticated manner. Expressing polite requests and invitations is another useful topic. For example, you can say, "I would be delighted if you could join my birthday celebration this weekend," or "Please come and celebrate my birthday with me. Your presence would make the day even more special." Using polite expressions shows social awareness and helps learners adapt their language to different situations, whether formal or informal. By combining storytelling, reflections, virtual celebrations, future plans, and polite invitations, learners can speak about birthdays in a complete, rich, and engaging way. This approach expands vocabulary, improves fluency, and allows learners to express emotions, thoughts, and possibilities clearly. Birthdays are not just personal celebrations, they are opportunities to practice English, share meaningful experiences, and connect with others in both traditional and modern ways. When celebrating birthdays, Using polite and culturally appropriate language is very important. Advanced English learners can practice giving and responding to compliments using full sentences. For example, if someone praises your outfit or the decorations, you could say, "Thank you. I put a lot of effort into making everything look special," or "I appreciate your kind words. It makes me happy to hear that." Similarly, when complimenting someone else, you might say, "Your gift was incredibly thoughtful, and I can tell you put a lot of effort into choosing it," or "The way you organized this activity is impressive and adds so much to the celebration." Using complete, polite sentences ensures that your English sounds respectful, fluent, and natural. Humor is another important element in birthday conversations. Jokes and playful comments make the atmosphere lively, and knowing how to use them appropriately can enhance communication. For instance, you could say, "I am officially 1 year older and a little wiser, but I am still figuring out life," or "Birthdays are proof that I am surviving adulthood 1 year at a time." You can also use rhetorical questions such as, "Who says you cannot have fun while growing older?" Or, "Does anyone else feel like birthdays come faster every year?" Incorporating humor correctly shows understanding of tone, context, and cultural norms, which are essential for advanced conversational skills. Talking about birthday games and activities is another way to practice descriptive language. You can explain what happens during the celebration in detail. For example, "We played fun group games that encouraged everyone to participate, laugh, and enjoy themselves," or "During the party, we had a trivia quiz about the birthday person, which created excitement and friendly competition." Describing games and activities allows learners to practice action verbs and adjectives, making storytelling lively and immersive. You can also describe the atmosphere. "The room was filled with laughter, cheerful chatter, and smiles as everyone joined in the games." Using sensory details like this helps listeners feel part of the event and makes your English sound natural. Advanced learners can also describe the planning and organization of birthday activities. For instance, "I usually plan interactive games and activities to ensure everyone has fun and feels included," or "We arranged a treasure hunt that encouraged teamwork and creativity among all guests." Using verbs like plan, organize, arrange, coordinate, and encourage helps learners explain processes and responsibilities clearly. Conditional sentences also allow discussion of possibilities. "If it rains during our outdoor party, we will move the games indoors," or "If everyone is available next year, we might try a larger themed activity." Practicing these structures allows learners to speak fluently about plans and alternatives. By combining polite compliments, humor, detailed descriptions of games, and planning, learners can speak about birthdays in a rich, engaging, and natural way. This approach improves vocabulary, storytelling, and conversational skills while making English conversations about birthdays lively, interactive, and memorable. Birthdays are not just celebrations, they are opportunities to practice social interaction, express feelings, and connect meaningfully with others. When discussing birthdays, it is also very useful to describe the preparation process. Advanced English learners can explain how they carefully planned events to ensure everyone enjoyed themselves. For example, "I created a checklist of all the tasks, coordinated with friends to handle decorations and food, and ensured every activity ran smoothly," or "We organized a seating plan, prepared a special birthday playlist, and set up games to make sure everyone felt included." Describing these steps allows learners to use action verbs, sequencing words, and conditional sentences while practicing precise and sophisticated language. You might say, "I carefully planned the activities to make sure they were suitable for both adults and children," or "I wanted to include games that required teamwork and creativity to make the celebration memorable." Using descriptive verbs, adjectives, and adverbs such as carefully, creatively, suitable, Memorable and engaging allows learners to provide clear, vivid, and structured narratives about events. This approach not only helps describe what happened, but also demonstrates your ability to communicate plans and intentions effectively in English. Another important aspect of birthday conversations is talking about special foods and treats. You can describe meals, desserts, and beverages using rich, expressive language. For example, the birthday cake was a layered chocolate masterpiece with fresh cream and berries, and it tasted absolutely delicious. Or, we served a variety of appetizers, including homemade snacks, fresh salads, and warm finger foods to please all guests. Drinks can also be described in detail. We had a selection of juices, soft drinks, and a sparkling punch that everyone enjoyed. Using adjectives and adverbs like fresh, warm, homemade, delicious, and beautifully enhances descriptions and helps learners vividly talk about food in English. This makes storytelling more sensory, engaging, and natural. Birthday decorations are another area where learners can practice expressive vocabulary. Describing colors, styles, and themes in full sentences creates a clear picture for the listener. For instance, the room was decorated with bright balloons, elegant streamers, and twinkling fairy lights that created a joyful atmosphere. Or, we chose a tropical theme for the party, with colorful flowers, palm leaves, and exotic centerpieces on each table. You can also explain the meaning or impact of decorations. The decorations reflected my personality and created a welcoming environment for everyone. Using descriptive language and thematic vocabulary helps learners communicate ideas clearly and engage listeners with vivid imagery. Talking about birthday surprises and unexpected events adds excitement and variety to your stories. You can describe moments that delighted you and your guests. My friends surprised me with a beautifully decorated room and a heartfelt gift, and I felt overwhelmed with happiness. Or, during the party, an unexpected performance by a local musician created a magical moment that everyone enjoyed. Using expressive verbs like surprised, delighted, created, enjoyed, and overwhelmed allows learners to convey emotions naturally. You can also reflect on how these surprises made the day special. These unexpected moments reminded me that the best part of birthdays is sharing joy and laughter with loved ones. Combining planning, describing food, decorations, and surprises allows learners to tell a complete and engaging story about birthdays. It improves vocabulary, fluency, and the ability to express emotions while creating vivid imagery for listeners. Advanced English learners can link all these elements using phrases like, "Not only did we enjoy delicious food and beautiful decorations, but the thoughtful surprises also made the day unforgettable." Using structured, descriptive, and expressive language in this way ensures your English conversations about birthdays are lively, immersive, and memorable. Birthdays are a wonderful chance to practice storytelling in English. You can describe events that happened using past tense and clear narrative structures. For example, my friend surprised me with a video montage of memories, which brought tears to my eyes. Or, during the party, someone organized a spontaneous dance performance that caught everyone by surprise and created a lively moment. Sharing surprises like this allows learners to practice sequencing events using descriptive adjectives and showing emotions, all of which are important skills for advanced conversational English. Talking about emotions during birthdays is another useful area. You can describe feelings such as happiness, gratitude, excitement, and nostalgia in complete sentences. I felt a deep sense of joy as I celebrated with my closest friends, or receiving thoughtful messages and gifts filled me with warmth and appreciation. You can also explore mixed emotions. While I was excited about the celebration, I also felt reflective about the past year and the changes I had experienced. Birthdays are a time for both celebration and introspection, making them meaningful. Using emotional and reflective language allows learners to show depth and maturity in their English conversations. Another important topic is birthday wishes and messages. You can talk about writing, sending, and responding to greetings. I enjoy crafting personalized birthday messages that reflect my feelings and the recipient's personality, or receiving handwritten notes and thoughtful messages from friends and family always makes me feel appreciated. Advanced learners can also use conditional or hypothetical statements. If I had more time, I would write longer and more meaningful messages for my closest friends, or I would love to organize a surprise for a friend if I knew they were free. These types of sentences help learners speak fluently about intentions, possibilities, and thoughtful gestures. Birthdays also give an opportunity to describe special experiences and surprises. One year, my friends organized a surprise trip to the mountains, and I felt completely overwhelmed with excitement and gratitude. Or during another birthday, my family arranged a small talent show, and it was amazing to see everyone participate. Including sensory details like the smell of fresh flowers, the sound of laughter, or the cool mountain air makes your storytelling richer and more vivid. Advanced learners can connect experiences with reflections. That birthday taught me the value of friendship and the joy of unexpected surprises. Linking experiences to personal lessons demonstrates fluency, depth, and natural expression in English. For example, you might say, another year older, but still young at heart, or I'm not getting older, I'm leveling up. Using idioms, playful expressions, and figurative language makes conversations more engaging, lively, and culturally aware. You can also ask rhetorical or humorous questions, such as who says birthdays can't be fun at any age, or does anyone else feel like birthdays come faster every year? Incorporating humor and idiomatic expressions demonstrates mastery of tone, context, and cultural norms, important skills for advanced conversational English. Birthdays also provide an excellent opportunity to discuss group interactions and social dynamics. You might describe moments like, at my last birthday, everyone contributed to the celebration by bringing their favorite dishes and sharing stories, or the atmosphere was lively because people were chatting, laughing, and enjoying themselves. You can also highlight teamwork and cooperation. My friends helped me plan the party by decorating the venue, preparing food, and coordinating games, which made the celebration smooth and enjoyable. Using verbs such as contribute, participate, organize, and coordinate shows that you can clearly describe social processes and collaboration, which is a key aspect of advanced English communication. Expressing gratitude is another essential topic in birthday conversations. You can explain how you thank friends and family for their presents or gifts. I like to thank my friends personally for attending my celebration and for their thoughtful gifts, or I often send a follow-up message to express my appreciation, which makes the celebration even more special. Discussing gratitude helps learners practice polite, meaningful communication, enhancing both social awareness and fluency. Planning and preparation are also important areas to explore. You can describe your organizational process in detail. I usually plan my birthday well in advance, creating a detailed schedule, selecting a menu, and arranging entertainment for my guests. You can describe tasks like coordinating decorations, invitations, and activities. I wanted to include games that required teamwork and creativity to make the celebration memorable. Using descriptive verbs, adjectives, and adverbs such as carefully, creatively, suitable, memorable, and engaging helps learners narrate events clearly while showing intentions and planning skills. Conditional sentences can be included to describe possible scenarios. If the weather permits, I will host an outdoor barbecue, but if it rains, we will move the celebration indoors. This adds nuance and sophistication to storytelling. Another key aspect of birthdays is discussing special foods and treats. You might say, the birthday cake was a layered chocolate masterpiece with fresh cream and berries, and it tasted absolutely delicious. Or, we served a variety of appetizers, including homemade snacks, fresh salads, and warm finger foods to please all guests. Drinks can be described as well. We had a selection of juices, soft drinks, and a sparkling punch that everyone enjoyed. Using adjectives and adverbs like fresh, warm, homemade, delicious, and beautifully creates sensory-rich descriptions that make your storytelling vivid and immersive. Describing decorations, themes, and surprises adds further depth. For example, the room was decorated with bright balloons, elegant streamers, and twinkling fairy lights, creating a joyful atmosphere. Or, my friends surprised me with a beautifully decorated room and a heartfelt gift, and I felt overwhelmed with happiness. Including sensory details, like the aroma of cake, the sound of laughter, or the warm glow of candles, helps the listener imagine the scene and feel part of the celebration. Birthdays also allow learners to discuss milestone celebrations, reflective insights, and future plans. You can say, turning 30 was a major milestone because it marked the transition into full adulthood, or celebrating a 50th birthday allowed me to reflect on life achievements and cherish time with family. Linking experiences to personal lessons adds maturity. That birthday reminded me of the importance of gratitude, friendship, and savoring simple moments. Future-oriented language can include hopes and hypothetical plans. Next year, I hope to celebrate my birthday in a new city and experience a different culture. Or, if my friends are free, we might plan a joint birthday trip to the countryside. Conditional and future tense structures help learners talk about possibilities naturally and fluently. Finally, birthdays provide opportunities to practice formal, professional, and socially polished English. You might say, I would like to wish you a very happy birthday and continued success in all your endeavors, or please accept my warmest wishes on your special day, and may the year ahead bring you joy and prosperity. You can also respond gracefully to professional compliments. Thank you for your kind words. I truly appreciate your thoughtful wishes, or I am grateful for your message, and look forward to continuing our successful collaboration. Practicing formal expressions alongside casual, playful, and reflective language allows learners to navigate a wide range of social contexts confidently. By combining storytelling, reflections, emotional expression, social interactions, surprises, planning, future possibilities, and formal language, learners can discuss birthdays in a complete, sophisticated, and engaging way. Birthdays are not just personal celebrations, they become opportunities to enhance fluency, expand vocabulary, and develop polished, versatile communication skills in English. They allow learners to connect meaningfully with others, practice descriptive and reflective language, use humor and idioms, and express gratitude and joy naturally. In short, birthdays offer endless opportunities to practice advanced English while sharing memorable experiences that last a lifetime. For example, you might say another year older, but not a day wiser, or age is just a number, and I am still young at heart. Humorous idioms like over the hill to describe milestone birthdays or turning a new leaf to indicate a fresh start can also be included. Integrating idiomatic expressions helps learners sound fluent and familiar with everyday English usage, adding a natural, cultural touch to conversations. Storytelling about birthdays becomes more engaging when unusual, funny, or unexpected events are included. For instance, one year a surprise magician arrived at my party, and everyone was amazed by the tricks and illusions. Or, during another birthday celebration, the cake accidentally fell, but we all laughed and turned it into a fun memory. You can describe the emotions involved, The laughter and joy in the room made me feel truly happy and connected with my friends. Using storytelling techniques such as sequencing events, employing descriptive adjectives, and reflecting on emotions allows learners to narrate experiences in a natural and engaging way. Advanced learners can also practice combining gratitude, optimism, and reflections on the future. For example, your birthday message made my day brighter, and I look forward to another year of collaboration and growth. Or, I am grateful for the kind wishes I received, and I hope the coming year brings new opportunities and happiness. Combining emotional expression with future-focused language demonstrates nuance, maturity, and sophistication in English. Overall, discussing birthdays provides opportunities to practice a wide range of advanced English skills, including formal and informal greetings, expressing well wishes to friends, family, or colleagues appropriately. Storytelling, narrating past experiences with descriptive language, sequencing, and emotional depth. Emotional expression, sharing feelings such as joy, gratitude, excitement, or nostalgia. Idiomatic and figurative language, using expressions like over the hill or turning a new leaf to make speech lively and natural. Reflections and personal insights, linking events to lessons learned, personal growth, or life philosophy. Future planning and conditional statements, discussing hopes, intentions, and hypothetical birthday scenarios. Cultural awareness, comparing traditions, rituals, and celebrations across different countries. By combining rich vocabulary, varied sentence structures, and expressive language, learners can confidently discuss birthdays in both social and professional contexts. Birthdays become more than a personal celebration. They are a chance to practice advanced English, engage emotionally with listeners, and convey stories, gratitude, humor, and reflections in a polished, natural, and sophisticated way.